Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 51 of Europa Universalis IV as Great Britain. I'm really beginning to regret not actually just forcing Vijay... I can never get this right. Vijayanagar. Forcing them to be a protectorate, because then it would have been so much easier to take land from them. Admittedly, they do have to have less than 50% liberty desire in order to be able to do that, so it may not have worked quite so well, but I'm sure we will go to war with them again at some point, and I'll be ready for their navy this time as well. I did just have a quick look to see if it would have been possible to maybe declare war on Norway, and we could have grabbed this, because most of Norway has been eaten up by Sweden, and I thought we could have maybe grabbed these islands and this bit of Norway here, and we could have gone up and grabbed Iceland, and I don't think Greenland's actually been colonised by anybody yet either. So that was a possibility, but looking at Norway, they are allied with Brunswick, which isn't a problem at all. Unfortunately, they're also allied with Muscovy. Now, Russia hasn't formed, and Muscovy is pretty big. We see that their font is right here, so we can assume that Muscovy is pretty much most of Russia. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be all that good trying to attack them. They're on military tech 14, we are on military tech 17. We're quite a bit ahead of Muscovy though, to be honest. They are in the Western group, but they are quite a bit behind tech-wise. Let's just have a very quick look at the ledger, because there was a few things I wanted to check here. First of all, I did want to check Muscovy and just see what they've got in terms of troops. So they've got a force limit of 101, which is pretty epic. My force limit is 121. They've got 50,000 troops. I guess they've only got half the number of troops that I have. And I don't know if they could necessarily get to me to do anything significant. I guess we've also got France on our side as well. So there is a possibility of doing this. Maybe something that I should consider. The other possibility, of course, is Spain, because Spain are actually my my rival, and they've got 61,000 men with a much smaller force limit. So we could theoretically go and try and take some more stuff from Spain. It would be nice to get a little bit more coastal stuff from them. Do we have any claims, is the question here. Don't have any claims on Spain. Unfortunately, I don't think... Well, we can fabricate on Norway, because we can fabricate on these here. Let's go ahead and do that, because I'm not really doing an awful lot with my diplomats. Let's go ahead and start by fabricating on Norway. So we are going to fabricate a claim on... that's Shetland, so let's go ahead and start with that. We will need to get our transports around there if we decide we want to do that. So we've still got a few cores to do, so we are a little bit overextended. We've won a little battle somewhere against some rebels, that's fine. So we've got these guys down here. Now we do have a little bit more of a force limit. Let's go ahead and we can get another 18 troops. So let's go and grab, well, let's grab 16 here. We'll get them all to queue up in London. So we're now actually running on version 1.13 of the game. That's 1.13 proper. Since about episode 10 or 15 of this series, I've actually been using the beta branch, the public beta branch of 1.13, as the boats sail through the landmass of Ireland there. There has been a few changes since the since it came out of beta. So the actual final release does have a few extra little bits and pieces. Nothing majorly significant, so I'm not worried too much about that. So I am sucking up to France. There we go. France is now at 200. We can keep improving relations, so I think we will still do that. We have made a colony self-sustaining. Do we still want to try and help these guys out and expand a little bit more for them? Is there anywhere that we really... I mean, what have they got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, could potentially try and grab another one here for them. Or we could use our colonist and try and expand elsewhere. We've got a colonist... Oh, no, Palma is actually now... Panama, sorry, is actually now ours. We are coring it because, of course, we did take it away from the... I can't remember who we took it from now, but we took it nonetheless, so we could go ahead and start coring one of these. This one would probably be better, And the reason I say that is because it actually has the port on this side, which will make it a little bit easier for doing our circumnavigate the world mission. So I think we might actually go ahead and try and grab this one. So I'm going to send a colonist there. I'm also going to go ahead and... well, that's not a core, so I can't actually get anyone here. Do have our guys up here exploring, though. What have we got here in terms of natives? 500. We might actually be okay, so I'm not too concerned about that. So we will leave that to tick on. We do have a few more guys around. We are working on colonising, and all the French stuff should become ours eventually anyway. So we are still only just over a third of the way through coring France. Hopefully when we manage to do that, we've got an event here. I'll check that in a second because I want to try and look this up. I can never remember where it is. Bear with me a second because I've got to find it now. There it is. So our total development is 792. When you get up to 1,000 or above, you can actually switch your government type, and we can go from being a kingdom up to being a empire. So a duchy requires you to have, I think, once you have 300 total provincial development and 50 prestige, you can become a kingdom if you're a duchy. And if you're a kingdom, 1,000 development and 75 prestige allows you to become an empire. So a duchy only has 2 diplomats. An empire, a kingdom has 3. I don't think an empire gets an additional diplomat, but you do get some more monthly autonomy reduction. And you also, I think you can have an extra leader, and there's one other thing as well. Oh yeah, you actually get a reduction on the time it takes to switch between your ideas. So at the moment, I can only change my focus every, I think it's 15 years, because playing as a British monarchy. Where's my government type? Yeah, English monarchy actually gets national focus cooldown -5, and if we actually become a empire, we'll get another -5 on top of that. So we should be able to change our focus every 10 years, I think. So that'll be quite good for us. Anyway, let's have a look about this. We can either gain 50 Diplo or we can gain 50 admin. Well, what do we need most? Bit of both at the moment. What do we like on terms of tech? We are a little bit behind on Diplo, and it would be nice to get that production the trade efficiency. As far as ideas go, we've finished all of our idea groups, so I think we will just go for the Diplo. Try and get ourselves into a position where we can get on top of that. Rebel Uprising, the Madurian Separatists. Now, where are these guys going to be? Madurai will be a free nation. Panama looks like it's going to have some uprising as well. Mind you, it is being cored, so that may well go away. We could just go ahead and bump the autonomy up here. It's 100% autonomy, which is terrible, but it does reduce the unrest significantly. I think the other province that it was going to pop was somewhere down here, possibly. Yes, this one here. What we can do, as soon as we've finished coring here, we'll go ahead and move these guys over and sit them there, and then that should reduce that significantly. Producing cotton. Let's just go up to speed 3. There's no real point to sit at this speed. We'll wait until we are relationship capped with France, and then we can go and start fabricating some claims on Spain. Might be a little bit risky attacking Spain, but I think it needs to be done at some point. What have we got here? -10% trade efficiency. Or for 10 years, plus 10 local unrest, and -75 trade power in one specific trade company. Or 5 years of... No, we'll just annoy the trade company. You guys really need a leader, because you don't currently have one. Obviously, we don't want to give you the conquistador, so we'll move you there. Just in case we do get this rebel pop. It is at 60% now. This core is almost finished. What about you guys? Is there anything that we could do with you? Obviously, we won't be able to vassalize you because I don't think you're westernized. Let's just pause up a second. Yeah, we're too technologically advanced, so there's no point trying to protectorate them because they're only a single province, so we'll probably take them out at some point in another war. In fact, we could do that as soon as we've cored this. We could go and fabricate on them, and let's have a look. Covert actions. Yeah, we don't have a diplomat, but we soon will. Another colony has become self-sustaining. That's fantastic. That is this one here. Now, what do I want to do with this guy? Do we want to go and start... Do we want to grab more of these island chains? We probably do. So, oh no, someone's already colonising that. Who do you belong to? Oh, that's France. That's okay, because France are on our side. We can go ahead and get this one here. Let's go ahead and... 500 natives, that's fine. We'll go and put you on the boat. And the boat can go over here and we will drop you off onto... Well, we'll drop you off onto there when we can. So you want to get yourselves out there, which you're going to. All good stuff. And that is our other colony, is it not? Yep, that's fine. We'll wait till you get there. There we go, we've actually got that core. We can actually now start to convert it, which we may well do. So what we want to do here, we want to drop you off onto the land. There we go, it was a little bit unsure about whether or not it wanted to do it. Soon as you have been dropped off, we can go ahead and dock you up in Miami, that's fine. So we've got provinces we can convert, the Hindu ones. Let's go ahead and do that. Is that same event again? We can gain 50 admin power or have some random native's opinion of us changed. Let's take the admin power all day long. One thing I did want to have a quick look at as well. Liberty Desire. France is still at 25%, which is not great. And we could tell them not to embargo our rivals. 25% isn't enough to worry about it anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. Or at least I shouldn't allow myself to worry about it. There's another colony that's become self-sustaining. That gives us our mission complete. Let's go ahead and move you over there. So what can we take as our next mission? Establish Great Britain in the Spice Islands. At least one province in Indonesia. Now, Indonesia is down here, I think. Is it in the Colonial region map mode that I need to be looking at? Colonial regions. Nope. It's one of these map modes. Region map mode. My geography is terrible, which doesn't help. Could have sworn that these were the Spice Islands. But I've been wrong before. Let me read that mission again. Yeah, at least one province in Indonesia. I'm sure it was down here somewhere. Is it under trade? Maybe it's just my geography being really bad. And what about Canton? Where's Canton? And who's it owned by, more importantly? Canton, I bet you're owned by Ming, aren't you? Oh no, it's not actually owned by Ming. You are owned by Shuhing. I don't think we're going to be taking it. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll just take that trade mission and we'll just cancel it to cycle missions, I think. Colony becomes self-sustaining, which is this one down here. That gives us a little bit more reach. Let's go ahead and... what's this ship here? Are you just sat out at sea for no apparent reason? Let's go and get you docked up. And where do we want to go from here? Do we want to keep working our way across these islands? Because not all of these places are... what have we got here? Oh, it's a narrow strait. It's tropical, which is not great. A lot of natives there. They're quite ferocious. Christmas Island. We could go and grab the Christmas Island. Not many natives here either. Does give us a little bit more reach. Or we could try and grab some of this stuff over here. Fair few natives around. I think we'll just grab the Christmas Islands for a start. So let's go and just send somebody there. We can grab all these other little islands on the way, but we'll do it as we can. So you are going to get on the boat. And the boat is going to go over to the Christmas Islands. And then obviously it gives us more nations that we can attack and allow us to sort of expand and spread. Looks like our explorer still hasn't finished his current mission, so that might take him a little while. Hopefully you won't take too long to get there. How is this rebellion going? Still at 60%. We still have too many leaders, but we're going to stay like that for a while. Okay, that core has now finished. That should actually help out a little bit now. It should help to slow that rebellion down just a bit. British West Indies gains some more tariff. 10 power isn't worth it, so let's take the tariffs. We're going to recall the diplomat. We've gained the CB against Norway. We want to get ourselves a CB against Spain. In the meantime, you guys are going to drop him off there. 50 admin power, or yeah, we'll just take free points all day long. So we want to take these ships, and they want to go back here because they need to dock. It needs to dock up and repair. So we're getting some CBs against natives. That is all good. So Spain, let's go ahead and fabricate a claim on you. It'd be nice to take some coastal stuff. So let's go for this. In fact, let's not go for that. Let's do something even better. We will fabricate on... well, actually, we've got 2 diplomats, so we're okay. We can do it. So we will go ahead and we'll fabricate the claim. And we're also going to go back down over to India. And now we have a core here. We're going to go ahead and fabricate a claim here. Do you have any allies? No, nobody cares about you one little bit. So we are going... Do we need to fabricate a claim, or do we have a CB? We actually already have a CB against them, because they are classed as natives. So we can just straight up go to war against these guys. So what do I want to do with my other diplomat? Because we should have cores against... We are currently... Yeah. So we want to fabricate a claim over here. We want to try and take some of the coastal stuff if we can. These ones down at the bottom would be really useful for us. So let's go ahead and try and get that one if we can. In the meantime, we will go ahead and declare a quick war on these guys. They've got no allies, so we don't have a diplomat to send now. That was a little bit stupid, wasn't it? I've just sent my free diplomat away. Well, there's no rush, so we can wait a little bit of time. What is the provincial unrest there? It's still very, very high. They are also part of a trade company. So all those years of separatism, the overextension isn't helping either. Once the overextension goes away, that'll be good for us. Producing silk here, so it's actually quite a nice province. Of course, it doesn't help that it's the wrong religion. We will be able to flip that over. Maybe we need to go for humanism. Our explorer has died. Well, that's very unfortunate. We've got to be careful now because we don't want that exploration fleet to sink. So you guys are over here. You didn't quite get to where you needed to be. Looks like you are actually returning home though, so that'll be fine. We won't bother getting our next explorer until he does actually return home. He shouldn't take too much attrition. There should be plenty of supply reach out there. That is all good. Why have we got one random trade ship not apparently trading? There's more lights there as well. Okay, you are going to go and join up with those guys. Obviously, I built these ships and then never really did anything with them. Those are the heavies. Now, the white squadron there, I believe, is doing the North Sea. What are you guys doing? Very little. Wow, all of my generals are dying. This is terrible. Okay, you guys can all group up. And you are going to protect trade in the North Sea. We should have quite a lot of trade power around these parts now. Yeah, we're doing well, although there's no trade value here apparently. All the trade that's going in is going out. But we want as much of it to come down here as possible. We don't want this 1 ducat 28 going this way. Although, to be fair, even when it goes in here, most of it still comes back out. So maybe we want to go and actually use those guys to patrol the Lubeck trade node, which might be slightly better. Because if we send them to Lubeck... then we can actually sort of push that trade this way. Which then makes me think, do we need... Right, you guys are also the ones over here. You guys can also go and patrol Lubeck. Because it doesn't really matter where the trade from the North Sea goes. If it goes south, it goes into the English Channel and we collect it. If it goes east, it goes into Lubeck. And anything that comes out of Lubeck goes back into the English Channel where we can collect it. So that's probably the best way of doing things. So we'll let all those guys go and group up. I am going to need to hire a new military leader. We'll grab one down here in Africa in India for when we go and declare the war against these natives. Just lost a CB there against some Native Americans. That is probably because they just migrated. So we could lose 200 ducats and gain some trade efficiency, or we could gain 100 ducats, get provincials in... Oh, give us, as a nation, for 5 years, provincial trade power modifier and national spy defense. I think we'll just take that one. That should be fine. Could become the defender of the faith if we wanted to. One other thing that I think we are going to need to do is do a little bit of development or buy a building or two. So, Cape Coast... Could lose some trade power and get some unrest, or we could lose some power. Just do that one, that's fine. Do we want to get any of our colonial nations to attempt to declare war on anybody? British Brazil aren't really next to anybody that they can declare war on. And in fact, I don't think there is really anybody around that we need to declare war on, so... we should be okay for now. We're still coring over here. Once we have managed to core there, we can send somebody over here. We can train up one more troop. So what sort of... do we want to do any development? Do we want to buy any buildings? Lose money or lose admin power? I'd rather not do any. We are ahead of time on admin, I think. But we don't want to be behind time. Well... I guess we'll just lose the money. That'll mean we'll end up taking a loan, which is going to be a little bit of a pain. That will slow down the... wow, look, that is a massive loan. I guess now we could use that to go and build a couple of buildings. Get some tax buildings, maybe. Increase our force limit is another possibility. Let's go have a look at the buildings very quickly. Let's just pause up. So, what do we want to do? And get universities now. Possible number of buildings +1. Reduces local development cost. Can be quite useful, especially if you stick it in somewhere like London. Reduce local development cost in London will be really nice. What else do we want to get? Marketplaces, increasing our trade power. Well, we already have a lot of trade power up here. That'll give us an extra 1.4. 1.4 there as well. 1.4 here. Probably all we need to grab. What about taxation? Temples, where could we get some more money? And could we get a decent amount of money? Not hugely. Let's go ahead and grab some of these ones up here. We're not talking megabucks, but every little bit of cash helps. And the rest of that is pretty pointless. We could get regimental camp and increase our land force limit also. So that's possibly not a bad idea. Try and get them on some of the inland provinces where possible. Okay, that'll do. That's most of our money spent now. Obviously, we are going to need to save up because we will need to repay that loan at some point. New missions have come around. We need to convert Varney to Protestant. Now, that is something that I would actually like to do. Do we have the missionary power to manage it? I'm terrible with this map. Yes, we will have the power to do that, so we will take that mission. We'll have to wait until we finish coring, of course. But that's pretty much all I can do on this video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4 as Great Britain. And I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.